Right, all right. Welcome to Smartly Uneducated, huh?
Yes, welcome back to Smartly Uneducated. We are doing it. We have a whole new setup now, guys. Now it's gonna be auto scene switching for us, which is awesome that this plugin works. I was never going to do this on my own physically, just because I would forget and then it would be on one of us for 30 minutes before, or an hour before it's like, oh hey, I wonder who it's looking at right now. Shit.
Whenever I speak for longer than 3 seconds, it'll just pop over to me, which is really cool. It's a nice little tool you got there.
Yes, it's gonna make this way more fluid and a little bit more professional. Perfect.
Follow, I imagine, too.
Yes, hands down. Hands down. Hmm. So, with all that being said, I say we jump right in, dude, because I really want to talk.
Been on your mind, big guy.
So, I don't know if this is news to anybody else, but did you know a time traveler ran for US president?
He said, wait, did he actually run for
Yeah.
our presidential elections?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah. So, let me read this little thing. Okay, so his name is Andrew Bisagio or Bisagio. I don't know how you say it. But anyways, so let me find the facts on this guy. Like I've got this in front of me. I'm just trying to make sure I spit out the right information.
right here.
So
I got it right here.
he's
Andrew
okay. Mm-hmm.
Media documented all statements for presidential candidacy. Dude, if this guy really ran for president and didn't win and he was a time traveler, he's an absolute idiot. You already know you're supposed to win. How'd you lose?
I mean, no one said that he knew everything about time. Like, what if he was just a participant? You know, kind of like how you read the public transportation system. Like, you don't know everything. Like, for instance, if I went back to like the 1400s, they'd be like, well, tell me what's going to happen in 50 years. I'm be like, I don't fucking know. Like, you know what I mean?
Apple and a whole bunch of Amazon. You'll be fine.
It's the 1500s. No one knows what the fuck you're talking about. It's like, invest in Apple. Write it down on these little scrolls or fucking poop with your hand on the walls. Whatever you write with back in this primitive fucking age. I said 1500s. Yeah. And then just like document it. So that way when someone finds it in the early like or in the late 1800s, early 1900s, they're like, huh, and then people talk about it and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And then all of a sudden Apple comes into fruition. In the 70s, there's gonna be some historian who's like, I gotta get out my savings. Like,
Like the Apple industry starts up way earlier than it's supposed to. So instead of it being called Macintosh, it's called Google.
it's gonna be called bucket of shit.
It'll be called Log.
Log, bro, log. But yeah, so Andrew Bisagio or Basiago? Bas- Andrew Basic
Iago cheese.
Basiago. Ooh, I think that's it, bro. I think that's it. Basiago.
And one for strike.
So it says that Andrew Basiago was a Seattle attorney who, since 2004, had been making the claim that he had time traveled
Oh my
between.
God, Ben, we gotta start over. These people just keep fucking barging in here.
Hello. It's okay. It's a time traveler. It's Tina, the time traveler.
I know we're in the middle of doing something. We can. Yes, we're live right now.
Hello, Tina. How you doing, girl?
I want this right
Has
now.
he been doing good to you? Has he been doing good to you? Can she even fucking hear me?
Not hear you at all.
Oh,
You're talking
God
to her.
damn it. Oh, that's real mature.
Start all over again now.
I'm leaving this in, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Look at the whiz. Look at the whiz eating his.
Yeah, it's good. You want to put your face in here so the world can see you?
Hello,
All right, there's Tina.
Hello, Tina.
She
Hello.
exists.
Hello. She exists. And just to our listeners out there, we all know that she was made up this entire time, but now we know that she is real. This is the first time I've ever seen her. It's crazy.
This is not the first time you've seen her.
And right now,
Bye, Tina.
it is the first time I've ever fucking seen her, bro. It's the very first fucking time. Very first fucking time.
Happened. Two people keep fucking barging in here.
It's cool. This is great content, bro.
You think so?
Yeah, because they're all really tight. They know where the fucking the big man's listening, man. The big man's listening, so he's sending in distractions, so we can't talk about this stuff.
Hey, you're right. You're right.
That's
Andrew
what's happening.
Basiago.
Oh, I was thinking more of the government,
OD. I mean,
the goddamn government. What kind of fucking sandwich you got there? I asked right when you took a fucking bite. It's like the worst.
cheese. It's egg and cheese. So we've been making Kaiser rolls.
Egg and
It's a,
fucking cheese, dude. Who's ever made a sandwich like that before? Are you a fucking
I
time
know, it's
traveler?
out of this world. It's something astronomically different. I mean, so we've been trying to figure out like the best roll to make. So we've been making bread every single day for the past month. And this bread right here is out of this world. Little Kaiser roll. It's a twisted up knot bread. It's super soft, delicate, and really good.
It's pretty fucking dope, bro.
Cinnamon rolls today. Those things are crazy good. But they're nowhere near as good as Andrew Basiago running for president. Am I right?
You're right, bro. You're right. So anyway, so let me jump us back in to this. So he was a Seattle attorney, and in 2004, he started making he had been making claims that he was a time traveler between the ages of 7 and 12. So between the age of 7 and 12, he claimed that he was a part of a secret U.S. government program when he was 7 to 12 years old that worked on.
Could you even imagine being an 8-year-old in like elementary school? Trying to figure out the future and whatnot. How would you even like consider that as an idea?
Bro, you're eating, dude. You've been around the Yanks too long. You're eating like them too out of the movies. It's like, oh my god, oh my god. You just made me.
I know what you're talking about. I'm not eating anything. No one's seeing me eating anything. I'm not eating nothing. All
you just made me think of. You just made me think of the movie Batman Begins when it shows the bad cop, you know, the one who's corrupt, who works with Commissioner Gordon, and Batman grabs him because he's like gonna say, "Where are the other drugs going?" Whenever before he gets picked up and zip lined up in the air, he goes and gets falafel, and he's like, and he's eating all sloppy and shit, and he's got the beard and stuff, and he's like, "Man, I got kids," because the dude, he takes some of the money, he's like, "Well, they don't like falafel." That's pretty much what you just did.
know what they're talking about. Falafel is delicious, though.
I've never had it.
Oh,
Dude, oh my god, are you talking with your mouth full? You're so irreverent. I love it.
delicious too. The bread, homemade. The egg from a local guy on the street. Cheese from Walmart. It's all delicious.
I love how you throw everything's like this, like homemade from a natural place, and all of a sudden cheese from Walmart. Like, you should run commercials for food, for food products, bro. Like, it would be next level.
Had a sandwich before. Have you ever tried one made from your house? The dough is rolled and cooked for 2-3 hours, and then you get an egg from somewhere down the street. A blue egg, maybe a green egg, maybe a brown egg. You ever had cheese from Walmart before? Oh, put all that motherfucker together. You get yourself a motherfucking sandwich, boy.
That's good, dude. See, we gotta just start making videos of this. It was great. Anyways, back to the content, bro. The topic material.
Basiago cheese on there too, huh?
Some fucking Swiss cheese, bro. I'll be busting kneecaps for some fucking Swiss cheese.
Some Basiago cheese. This guy's time traveling with his cheese.
And just in case, we're gonna use that fucking blue cheese too, because it stinks like their fucking face.
God, dude, blue cheese is gnarly. I don't know. Blue cheese has that like stink to it that I love, and it tastes so good. But knowing that it's like literal mold sitting in there is a little bit discerning. But all in all cheese is molds, and I like all cheese. My body hates it. My body hates lactose.
I would bet that blue cheese, since we're talking about time travelers, blue cheese is cheese that's actually from a time traveler, and that's how we get it through a teleportation device from the future. It's old, nasty ass fucking cheese that's been marinating inside of like a fucking barrel or some shit for like hundreds of years. And then they send it back. And they're
You're
like,
not wrong.
and the government's all like, in these black book projects, like, what the fuck do we do with all this fucking cheese? And then there's like, oh, let's start a new product line. You know, that way we can get rid of it and no one, it won't be suspicious. And then boom,
You gotta send it back. Send it back.
yes, it's gross. Anyways, so let's get back on topic here. So between the ages of 7 and 12, he claimed he was part of a secret U.S. government program that worked on teleportation and time travel under a secret DARPA, which, of course, if you don't know what DARPA means, it means Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. DARPA is a very real thing. That's actually a real thing. Experiment called Project Pegasus. Now, Project Pegasus began in the 1970s, was a DARPA time exploration project. Basiago claims that the project used children to carry out experiments since they felt like children would be more adaptable to changes in space and time, and subsequently, Basiago claims he became the first American child to teleport.
Thing I want to add in there is that the Project Pegasus was like a starting point, like a precursor to the Montauk Project, and also the Philadelphia experiment.
Well,
so
no,
these are all
Philadelphia
tied
experiment
together.
was before. Philadelphia experiment was before.
So I didn't
Yeah.
say precursor to the the Philadelphia.
Oh, you're
So
talking about
precursor
Montauk.
to the experiment.
Yes, yes. So apparently this is all connected into those programs that some people call myth, but I don't think they are. Like, it seems pretty goddamn legit. I mean, or I say legit.
My man Basiago said that he was there when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated 5 or 6 times.
Oh. Why did it not give me the right? What did you?
It's 5 or 6 times to watch him die, and there's a photo of him at the Gettysburg.
Mm-hmm. Is there a picture?
There's absolutely a photo, but it's like a blurry ass photo. Can't really tell who it is or what it is.
Bring it up. I want to see it. I want to see it. What website did you go to get that info?
Cultofweird.com.
Cultofweird.com. Yeah, because I was looking at this other one and it was like
Of them.
Yeah, let me share that real quick.
Don't share that screen.
You're like, no, I gotta hide that shit, bro.
Uh-oh. You ass.
I was about to, dude, I was literally just thinking it's probably all your anime porn you watch. All the food porn. It's probably it's probably all those anime characters eating food and just jizzing themselves.
Orgasms.
Yep.
There you go. Look at this one.
Let's see it.
This one's SFW.
Yeah, I see that.
He says the red circle is him.
Man, he really fit the part. Like, did he like steal the fucking clothes? Did he like get sent back?
He posed for the photo.
He's like, haha, bitches, let me kick out my foot. Like, he's like the only person posing. He must be from the future. He might be telling the truth. Who poses for photos like that? You know what I mean?
I mean, if you look, every single person's face is blurry. So who's to say this isn't him? But it all seems all very fishy.
All seems very fishy. Very, very.
Well, you can just take a random ass old photo and be like, yeah, that guy who's 200 years old in that photo, that one's me.
Yeah, I don't know.
And close that screen now, but yeah, take it as you will.
Well,
I think this guy's full of shit and he's just a rich, crazy person.
Yeah, probably. I'm trying to get to the part. So yeah, so Basiago says he experienced 8 different time travel technologies throughout the course of the project, but most instances involved a teleporter based on technical papers supposedly found in pioneering mechanical engineer Nikola Tesla. See, and that's something that I've wanted to talk about because Nikola Tesla.
Well, one thing you didn't add is that they found it in his apartment after Nikola Tesla died. So the man died, and they all went into his apartment and found these papers that talked about time travel. And so Nikola Tesla found it. They killed him. They took his information. Simple as that, right?
Yeah, and all the other crazy shit he was cooking up. But I'll get to Nikola Tesla in a minute once we're done talking about Basiago. But he has to do with time travel too. There's like a whole conspiracy that he was a time traveler, that he's not actually dead, that he didn't die. Mm-hmm. There's a conspiracy theory that Nikola Tesla, since people have been leak information, has finally been coming out about his time travel, like hypothesis and like papers that he's written up and shit, that potentially he had created a machine and or some way to time travel and did it.
Badass.
It would be. Turns out he's the aliens. He cloned himself and it went wrong and it made a mutated versions and now he's just fucking with us. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm really fascinated by the whole concept of Nikola Tesla time traveling. That conspiracy theory is a really fun theory to think about when you read about all the like the wacky ins and outs of it. But I'll get back to that in a little bit. What I want to talk about is after the Nikola Tesla part. It says here that the teleporter consisted of two gray elliptical booms about 8 feet tall, separated by about 10 feet, between which a shimmering curtain of what Tesla called radiant energy was broadcast. See, that right there, we actually saw what that looks like in the movie The Prestige. No, I'm not kidding. No, that's not a joke.
No, I know it's not a joke. It's very serious, but it's just a very funny thing that we can only witness it in a fictional film.
Well, yeah, because Christopher Nolan put it in The Prestige, because you've seen The Prestige, right? And he does teleport. That was the whole thing in the movie with Hugh Jackman's character. He was teleporting, but he wasn't just teleporting. He was it basically made a copy of him. And that's why he had one of the versions of him would die and fall through the trap and get trapped in the box and die type thing. So it's like, but the design of what they did in the movie was exactly like Nikola, because Nikola Tesla in the movie is the one who gave him the machine. So it's like, that's pretty cool, bro. Anyways.
You're real.
Now I want to watch The Prestige. Up Close Magic, bro. I just want to learn magic so I can fuck with my own self. Like
say that.
I want to fuck with myself, make my own hand disappear, and then forget I know how to do magic and be like, where the fuck did it go? And then pop my hand out of sleep and go, oh, it's there the whole time.
I thought you said something completely different. So I'm glad you said
that I want to fuck the magic, bro.
Self is what I thought you said. And that would have been a crazy thing to say.
Magically.
So. Fuck yourself.
Like Harry Potter shit with the wands. Jack Offio, Jack Offio, oh. You know what I mean? Like, it just does it for you. You're like, are you good? All right. Anyways, so Basiago said each of his visits to the past were different. Like they were sending us to slightly different alternate realities on adjacent timelines. As these visits began to accumulate, I twice ran into myself during 2 different visits, being sent back in time to the same place and moment, but from different starting points in the present, allowed 2 of themselves to be in Ford's Theater in the same time in 1865, which you already referenced Abraham Lincoln earlier. He does have like a little quote that he said, after the first of these 2 encounters with myself occurred, I was cornered, what was it say? I was cornered that my cover might be blown.
He was concerned.
Did it say concerned?
My page that's concerned. I was concerned that my cover might be blown.
Mine says cornered. I thought it sounded weird, like really dumb, but I was like, huh. Anyways, I was concerned that my cover might be blown. It says, unlike the jump to Gettysburg, in which I was clutching a letter to a Navy Secretary, Gideon Welles, to offer me aid and assistance in the event I was arrested. What? How the fuck would that guy help him?
Very real man. He was they called him Father Neptune, and this guy was in charge in 1861 to 1869, and then he worked with Abraham Lincoln to get him elected.
You think that's a time? So you're saying that they were working with people in the past already? Had connections. So it's not about who you know, man. It's how you know them. No, yeah, it's not how you know them. It's when you know them and how you know them, not who you know. You know what I mean? That's my new slogan. That's the patent pending.
So this guy Gideon Wells was like the driving force that made the North win. He's the guy who like successfully had blockades in the southern ports to block any Southerners going into war and to stop them all. So he had a very pivotal role.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if our man Basiago, the cheese boy, actually did something here, he fucked with history.
Whoa! It says here that Basiago's claims are supported by Alfred Webre or Weber, Webre, a lawyer specializing in exopolitics, or the political implications surrounding an extraterrestrial presence on Earth. That's a weird fucking.
That guy has like 20 books, and he's 81 years old. If this Alfred guy was anything real, why isn't he like more known or something? Because if he's being a lawyer for aliens,
Well, that's probably why we don't know him, because like all that alien shit gets shoved underneath the rug up until here recently when they've been talking about it more.
so many wild books, dude.
Now I want to read a book. I want to read a book for the first time ever in my life. Oh my god. Let's see here. It says Weber says teleportation and time travel have been around for 40 years. This is Weber. The Alfred Weber said this, but are hoarded by the Defense Department instead of being used to transfer goods and services. So you're telling me they got Star Trek type fucking teleporters? Is that where?
Yeah.
Is that where? So, dude, that means some fuck somewhere, some agent who doesn't deserve to say the line like us fanboys. He got to say, "Beam me up, Scotty." Someone did somewhere right before he got teleported for real in real life.
Own heart.
Fuck that guy. He took my line.
That a lot of people are gonna hate us right now, Ben, because you just said they had some Star Wars shit, and then you said "beam me up."
I said Star Trek.
Wars. Play it back. Play it back.
Well, let's say we did it and I was right. Let's say we did and I was right. Star Trek. It was Star Trek. It was Star Trek guy. Star Trek. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a fan of both. So, anyways, original trilogy.
Fucking stupid.
They are, but wildly fun. Depending on which one you're watching at what point in time when it was released, you know. That is a good thing. We don't talk about the odd number Star Trek movies. But boom. Captain, there be whales here. You know, because they're saving fucking.
I think I've seen like one Star Trek.
I forgot
movie.
which one. I think it was like Star Trek 5, maybe, or one. I don't remember which Star Trek movie it was, but the whole goddamn point of the movie was saving fucking whales. The whole point, saving whales in, I believe, in the past.
Wasn't it for like fuel or something, or just to
They
save?
run their blubber from their butt. Our warp drive's down. We need to refuel. Well, why don't we just head to that space gas station over there, sir? Oh, our warp drive doesn't run that. What do you mean? We need blubber from the whale's ass. Like, what?
The gas station name is Blubbers.
Whale testicles is whale testicle juice is the fucking nitro of their warp core. Anyways, so goods and services. So you got So it says here Andrew Basiago ran for president in 2016. It says I have prior knowledge that not only will I run for president, the Democratic write-in said, but that during one of the elections, which would have to be between 2016 and 2028, because I'm not running past that, I'm either elected president or vice president. He, oh, he just shot himself. He just shot himself in the goddamn foot now, bro. I mean, he's not out of time. He's not out of time. He has to get elected this upcoming election, bro. If he becomes vice president, I have no idea. You want to look that up?
No.
Dude, if we find out he's on the fucking ballot as somebody like, dude, because they haven't even announced, I don't even think they've announced who would be running as vice president with these potential candidates who are trying to be president. You know what I mean? I don't think they've even announced that.
Few of them up already.
But not all of them, bro. Not all of them.
Files. Let's see. Of course, you have all the big names. You got a couple women in there. You got some weird old white dudes. I don't see our man.
Well, let's consider this. Let's extend Basiago and Olive Branch real quick. He did mention that he was going to adjacent alternate timelines that were adjacent to ours. So what if when he came back in time, right, and he's now back in this reality as a kid, what if he didn't actually come back to his original timeline, his fixed point that he originally started from? And now he's in a parallel version.
And that was one of my initial thoughts was if he is a time traveler, who's to say that he came back to the proper time? Because as we know, the multiverse branches off into 1,100 different directions. So who's to say that he's even in the right galaxy or universe or time or whatever?
Well, there's that, and then also when you talk about like the Mandela effect and like all these changes that are happening that people like I have distinct like that whole like I've mentioned it before, but you know how there's the movie Kazam with Shaq, and then there's the whole Shazam movie or whatever where it has or Sinbad, you know, that guy. When I was a kid, we had both VHS tapes. Me and my brother Sam both remember it. We used to fight over which movie we were gonna watch. But now, it never existed, and that's bullshit. I remember, I literally, we fought over the movie case. Yeah, it never existed, never did.
That a million times. That's all a lot.
It never existed. Like I said, dude, if I would be inclined to believe that there's got to be some type of teleportation or time, I don't know, I don't want to say necessarily time travel, but maybe some type of teleportation or maybe fuck it, or time travel, something that has affected the fabric of our universe to create alterations where things are intersecting.
Like up there for sure.
Well, yeah, a lot of people were saying it was whenever they one really popular conspiracy was when they turned on the particle accelerator for the first time and created the God particle.
Andrew Basiago and his other children teleporters.
Yeah, or the Philadelphia experiment itself, or anything that happened prior to that, and the timeline's been getting intersected. Like you have different overlapping parts where things are running right next to ours. You know what I mean? And things bleed over.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Doctor Strange said it best in one of those weird Marvel movies or whatever. He's like, everything's a stream and they branch off of each one as they go down through time.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like, but I know everyone rags on the Flash movie, but I liked how they did the time travel concept in it because they used the analogy of spaghetti, like spaghetti noodles in a bowl.
That sounds delicious.
Well, fucking lasagna, bro. Lasagna.
Fucking egg sandwich at 10 o'clock at night.
Hell yeah, bro. But no, it's just like in the movie, they use the analogy of using like spaghetti noodles they had in a bowl. And he was explaining that like when you try, like time is not linear, right? So if you were to leave at this point and come back here and make an alteration, you can't go back because it's all the noodles are overlapping each other. And there's certain points where the noodle doesn't touch a noodle, small points, and those are fixed points. So the last point there was an intersection where a noodle touched each other. That is a fixed point in time. So they call that it's a fixed point. So whatever happens there happens, and you can't alter anything after that. And shit like that. Now that was stuff for the movie, for what was happening in the movie or whatever. But the analogy they used would kind of make sense to this here. It's kind of like a mess of noodles and the things we're all talking about. Like, so, everything is just bleeding into each other now at this point and mixing things up. So that's why when, spoilers, when Barry time travels and comes back, instead of everything being reset back to normal, now George Clooney's Batman is Batman again.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie yet. That sounds cool.
Yeah, George Clooney shows up at the very end. And he thinks it's going to be Ben Affleck, Bruce Wayne. And all of a sudden he sees him and he goes, "You're not Batman." And he goes, "Of course I'm not." And he basically winks at him because they're out in public. So he's like, "Of course I'm not Batman."
Whoa. I see.
And he was like, "Barry, are you okay?" Because he is Batman now in that universe because of, everything bleeds together. It never gets fully back to normal. So, yeah. Anyways, so with that, it was actually fun. There was just, you should watch it. It was still fun. I don't think it should have gotten all the hate it got, but it was still fun. But moving on past that, with that analogy in mind, it would explain a lot of things with things bleeding into each other, like the Berenstein Bears or Berenstein Bears, right? About like Nelson Mandela when he died. You know what I mean? How everyone thought he was dead, and all of a sudden he wasn't. They're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, we watched this guy in the news. We watched his fucking funeral. And
we learned about him dying in school.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, nope. He died in a different time, like a different point. And it's like, no, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. Like I said, I really think things are overlapping and things change. Like, that's what it seems like, is that things are changing. And so it's like, you could plan your future. So with that in mind, you could live your life and plan your future. But you could never actually plan your future. Not just because, it's life. You can't always predict everything. But if there's a variable like that going on where it's making these alterations and changes by things fading into each other of different timelines, of different circumstances, and all of a sudden they're now bleeding into each other, and all of a sudden one day, it's kind of like when you find out about all these things just popping up all these bad things happening, popping up out of nowhere. It's like, what if that's a direct result of the noodle analogy? Things are fading into each other. Now they're plopped into existence. And some people...
What happens if you have two noodles that cook together?
I think you're fucked, bro. I think that's like where two times of existence basically merge and cause basically a time paradox, and it kills itself. If that's the case, it's cool. I'm gonna look for myself, and we're gonna high five, and I'm gonna punch myself in the fucking dick.
Maybe he doesn't have 100 kids like you do.
Yeah, so I was literally thinking, I was like, I'm gonna find out. I was like, "You got any kids?" And he's like, "No, bro, I'm super successful, and I did all these things, and I had a good level head. I had a good mom and dad." I'm gonna be like, "Fuck you, bitch! Come here, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna take your place." Yeah, I was like, "Let's switch places, see what happens for a day." Although I wouldn't be cool with that because I have a smoking hot wife, and I'd be like, "Get your grubby fucking hands off my wife! Alternate me, like."
Wait, same me, different me. Who are you? Who am I?
Bro, how fucking wild would that be if you could, like, you found an alternate version of yourself because timelines bled, and all of a sudden there was another you who, by circumstance, in his timeline was where you live as well.
Well, hold on. Hear me out. Is that what twins are?
I mean,
are twins alternate dimension copies of each other?
Stuck in this, but they were supposed to be in different places, but some reason they went out the poop chute and of that universe and got plopped into the womb of that one with the other one.
One universe person had a miscarriage, but that miscarriage then just transferred over to a twin in another universe.
I would say the Nazis were on to something then, bro. They probably knew something we didn't.
They got something right.
I don't think it was through any of the methods they did of torture.
The killing they got right. It was probably just the science and their cool clothes.
And their cool clothes. They goose step real fucking good too. I've seen it. Like I've seen how I grew up with gooses and geese. You know, we had geese as a kid on our ranch, and
It's goose eye.
I've seen how them fuckers walk around, like goddamn goose stepping motherfuckers. They walk just like them, that fucking mean ass goose that we had. That bitch used to fucking chase me everywhere. He was big too, because you know, a goose is not small. They're way bigger than a duck, and I don't think a lot of people know that. Oh, no, sorry, I'm thinking of the swans. We had swans at one point.
And swans are awful.
Sorry, I was thinking of swans. We had swans as a kid. We had
And suck too.
Oh, they're assholes, dude. And they're big. They ain't small. Like when you're a 7-year-old kid, that thing's bigger than you. Like, yeah, dude. I remember I used to run from that swan, and I would run my ass off because it would be running. It would puff its chest out, because what it would do is it puffs its chest out, throws its wings up like this, and then it because you know it's got that long ass neck, and then it makes like a S shape with its neck, so it rears back its head like this, and he's like just fucking trying to peck you. Bro, I ran.
I have that as my ringtone. Just you going
Dude, I ran for my fucking life as a kid. That thing, dude, there was no fight in that motherfucker unless I used like a lethal weapon, you know, like a machete or maybe my baseball bat. But then that would get me in trouble for beating the shit out of that goose for pecking me in the face. Or swan.
maybe they're extraterrestrial, and we need some sort of exopolitics for these guys. These fucking geese.
I can see it now. They're all flying around these UFOs, and they see us all talking about aliens and little green men, and they're just inside these UFOs going laughing.
Dude, you gotta stop doing that, man. Can you see yourself?
Yeah. It looks like I'm doing another activity, huh? Let's pay attention, ladies. This is tutorials. This is tutorials. No, I'm good. I think I've shown enough. Those freebies. You want the full course? You got to pay $9.99. Private episodes for tutorial lessons.
After dark.
Smartly uneducated blowjobs. Tutorial 1.
Let's get right to the fucking punch. We're not lying here. This is what we're doing.
All right. So it says for 70 years, the U.S. government has been concealing advanced technologies because they might be socially, economically, or technically disruptive in nature. Well, no shit. I think it's already disrupting nature.
Before we continue on this cheese boy, I've been over here trying to find any sort of information on exopolitics. If you type that into any sort of browser, it doesn't give you anything but the movie Exopolitics that was created.
Yeah, I tried to look it up too, and the first thought that you were talking at the time, so I didn't want to interrupt you, and then I forgot. But when I looked it up, the first thought through my head was, I think he made that up. Like he made up that word.
So he had to have made it up, because even on Wikipedia, the only entry is the definition. Now I don't know who put it in here, but there's a few quotations using it, but like there's no like historical data around it. There's one definition, no enunciation, just fucking there it is. Which I find very interesting, that it's like one of those hidden things, because it's literally a definition of the art or science of government as concerned with creating or influencing policy toward ETs, phenomenons, and extraterrestrial beings.
Yeah.
So it's literally based around how do we talk to them and how do we act around them.
Yeah. Now, continuing on from this quote that I didn't finish reading, it says, these technologies include the teleportation technology developed by DARPA's Project Pegasus. They may also include cancer cures, The government should begin a program to declassify and deploy this knowledge. The standard of technical disclosure should be what provides the people the best available technology. Now that's the end of the quote, but then that was not the end of the quote. It says this will enable all of this would enable the United States to reclaim its mantle as the world's catalyst of applied science. Basiago did not.
Everybody knows that the U.S. government has got all this technology they're not sharing.
You know, I wonder something. What if? So we got all these like disclosures going on about technologies and aliens and like all this stuff, right? And UFOs. What if we've already lived in a timeline, you and I, there's probably a version of us that already existed, and we are the product of a timeline change. So we're a variant. We're living in a variant timeline right now. What if we're living in a variant timeline? Because in the original timeline, there was a disclosure. Someone did blow the whistle at some point in time and released documents internally and actually went and did that. Because look at what's happening right now. People are like, oh, I'll talk to you about closed doors, right? And these are people who have a lot of knowledge about things that no one else knows about, all these off the book things. So it's just like, what if there was something that did happen in an original timeline or a different adjacent timeline of some form that we were originally from, and then in order to stop it, they went back in time, quote unquote, and silenced the motherfucker, and then now it created a variant timeline that's running adjacent to our own, to the original, and that's where these overlaps are happening, and or there could be numerous variants at this point, you know what I mean? And it's just like, that's why these people know not to say anything, because they know the overall how bad it would end up, because it's like, okay, well then they're just going to shut us up. It doesn't matter if we disclose it, because they have the ability to go back and alter something where maybe they're protected from the effects, maybe where they are with the machine in some type of housing, who knows? I don't know how this shit works. I'm just talking out of my asshole, but you know what I mean? And it's just like, it creates these variant timelines. And what if we're living in one and that's our existence? But originally it wasn't. What if at one point in time, that's why like you meet some people who truly believe that like Nelson Mandela died in the way that we both know is bullshit, right? And it's like, okay, well, they're from like, you know what I mean? We're like, everyone in our realm of our reality is from a mixture of maybe 1, 2, maybe even 3 variant timelines kind of meshed into one. And that's why there's all these differences.
Very possible.
Because I remember watching Shazam. If you remember watching Shazam as a kid, then that means we're from the same fucking universe, bro.
Painfully remember Sinbad doing something on a pirate ship as like a wizard. Like I distinctly
well, not a pirate,
remember.
He was a genie. He was a genie.
Wizard, same shit, different sort of
different sort of thing, bro. But yeah, dude.
Shaq being the guy.
Yeah, Shaq was in a thing called Kazam. I think it's Kazam or Kazzam.
The reigning cheeseburgers.
I honestly couldn't tell you, dude. It's been a long time.
Shazam or Kazam. Hold on. I think I found something here.
It's probably a fake. The Sinbad started parodying people by making fun of people for believing he was in a movie called Shazam, and he did like a little YouTube video, or made like a couple minute long video of him in Shazam, and it was completely fabricated, and people were like, what the fuck? And then he was like, pretty much said, fuck you to all the people that think this. Like, Sinbad was being an asshole. Mm-hmm. Because I guess he did harassed about it.
I don't know any difference, and all tall, black, strong men look the same.
No, I think what it is, if we're going off the variant theory, what if he's a variant of the original Sinbad? You know what I mean? And he has no memory of ever doing it.
So doctored. It doesn't even look like Shaq's supposed to be here. It looks so fake.
Oh, it's cheesy. It's got a white kid with like shaggy hair. Look, yeah, it's Kazam. That's Kazam. Yeah, Kazam is real. Everyone knows Kazam existed. But
So
I bet
bad.
you anything that at one point in time that Shazam, and maybe we're a hodgepodge, because think about it. If Shazam was a movie, and I remember it, you remember it, I watched it as a kid, and I watched Kazam. I remember them both distinctly. But the thing is that what if in a different variant timeline or original time, whatever you want to call it, Shaq was never in a movie called Kazam, right? And in that timeline, Sinbad did the Genie movie, and it was Shazam, right? And then now in this variant timeline, Kazam happened, right? And Shazam didn't happen. But since, hear me out, so that would, that happened. So that means that would explain why we both have the memory, because that would say that we're both from the same original time realm, universe, all that shit, but we have a blood. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like Kit Kat. Like, don't look anything up. Let me ask you. Kit Kat.
Myself. I'm looking at like Sinbad movies, like what happened?
So Sinbad, right? Or not Sinbad. Kit Kat, the candy bar. Does it have a hyphen or not? Sure about that?
Yeah, it's one word, Kit Kat.
Okay. Yeah, and that's another one. Is that Kit Kat I can't remember if it says they try to say that Kit Kat never had the hyphen or it did have the hyphen. You can look it up now.
I'll look it up.
But I remember both. Because the reason now I remember both is I can prove it. I want you to read it though. I want you to see it on the thing with Kit Kat not, maybe having a hyphen, not having a hyphen. There's a bunch. Sorry, excuse me. There's a bunch of different ones.
Or this guy has a wrapper with the Kit Kat dash on it.
Mm-hmm. Now they try to say it didn't have a dash, right? Is that what it is?
That it did have a dash, but I mean, logos change. Logos change over the years.
Yeah, well,
who's to say they just didn't
Kat,
get rid of it?
Kit Kat came out and made a statement, and then like people, like all these people like legit historians came out, and everyone's saying that it, I believe they say it didn't, and it was just Kit Kat. Well, when I was a kid in the '90s, I have a VHS tape that I used to record Ren and Stimpy marathon that was on TV at the time, and this is back in the '90s, and I have the VHS tape upstairs, and it was recording commercials and all, because I just had it, recording nonstop. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't home, so I wanted to record as much Ren and Stimpy as possible.
Yeah, that's what you do with those VHSs back in the day. You just let it go all day long.
Yeah.
Until it runs out of tape.
So I recorded it. I've watched that tape literally hundreds of times because that was my only way to watch Ren and Stimpy. All the way up throughout, like, being a teenager, I was watching that VHS tape, and guess what happens in the commercials? There was Kit Kat, give me a break, give me a break, doing all that shit. Had a motherfucking hyphen.
Find that, because that's a beautiful nostalgic piece. If you could take that, turn it into like an MP4 format and put it online, that'd be cool to watch.
Yeah, I've got a couple different videotapes that I have a couple different videotapes that are from back then. I'm saying I just have a few different ones of like old TV shows that have play all the commercials, like My Buddy. Remember the My Buddy that is like the you remember My Size Barbie? All right, so for girls they made I'm saying for girls they made a life-size, full-size Barbie doll. So the Barbie was as big as like a 6-year-old kid. It was as tall and everything. It's called My Size Barbie. For boys, they made a thing called My Buddy, and My Buddy was a full-size, like as big as a kid, doll. Look it up. And I have all those original commercials Or when they,
That buddy is fucking terrifying.
oh yeah, he is. That doll creeped me out.
Shit.
That doll creeped me out as a kid, bro.
Chucky was based off, no?
I would hope so, because I had nightmares. I saw that fly. I would have nightmares of that little bastard because my brother, he used to torment me. What he would do is he would come into my room when I'd be dead asleep, and he would crack open my closet door and take my buddy and put him in the doorway of the cracked closet door to where only half of him standing out in a dark ass room with just a nightlight on, and the nightlight would just cast a glow of a light over the door, and it would just be half of my buddy's face staring at me when I'd wake up. Bro, fucking terrifying.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I got grounded for 2 months, and I got like a bunch of swats because so we had a wood chipper, and my dad was, taking, wood down, stuff he was cutting up and throwing the wood chipper and chopping it up. And I threw the My Buddy doll in there. And my mom got pissed because, they bought it and whatever. I was like, I thought this thing was some evil fucking thing that was trying to fucking kill me. So I threw it in the wood chipper.
Fucking demon doll out of here.
Yeah, see, you see in the movies, they always shoot it, or they punch it or lock it in the box. Nah, I'm way cooler. I was the 7-year-old who said, fuck that. Oh, look, a wood chipper. You're not going to exist anymore.
Kid, you knew better than most of these fucking adults in these movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue on this Andrew guy so we can
yeah.
say goodbye.
You're just like, I don't want to do a podcast, bro. I gotta get out of here. But
early. Tired boy.
I'm a tired boy. So it says, Basiago did not become president, but his work as a child during Project Pegasus gave him some interesting insight into the election, since the CIA used the technology to find a brief future presidents. What? Saying that.
I agree, though.
So basically, they're trying to say the CIA used the technology to look forward to see who potentially is the future president.
I see that in this document that I'm reading that they tried to ask him about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. He's like, well, hold on. I never said anything about these people. I just know about me.
Oh, check this out. So it says in here, they talk about Hillary Clinton, and this took place in 2016 with Trump, before Trump got elected. This apparently took place before Trump got elected. He said this. He said, as for Hillary Clinton, I have no data, Basiago said. I think it's reasonable to infer that were she a future president, there would have been a pre-ID of her. As for Trump, I have a vague memory that my father took special note to Trump during an appearance by him on the Phil Donahue show, and might have even commented that he was a future president. And that was before he was elected president.
Yeah.
Like I said, he could, like I said, if we're meshing into other variant and adjacent timelines, it would explain why he's not 100% accurate. He was accurate about Trump. I mean, somewhat. He was very vague, right? So he didn't say yes or no, but he was like, yeah, I think I remember Trump was potentially what my father said, a president in the future. So it's it's interesting, right? I'm not saying I believe this guy.
That is quite fascinating. For him to become a vice president. So if he makes it to the 2024 election and then becomes a vice president for, say, RFK Jr., that would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be really crazy. It says it seems that when Basiago's initial election bid failed that year, space-time fractured and gave us the worst possible timeline instead. Oh, wow. But we still have 8 more years to see if the first chrononaut president takes office. Fingers crossed.
I mean, shit. If he was which one ruined our timeline?
Yeah, who fucking knows, bro? Who fucking knows? All I know is that we are living in a weird, contorted form of reality. And I think it's becoming more and more apparent every day. Shit's just not right. There's something wrong. There's something off.
There's something in the air that we're on the precipice of something that's going to tilt our reality into a good or bad scenario. We are on a precipice of something.
Well,
And
you did mention before that whole thing about some bad thing happening. Some big thing happens like every so many years. Now, I remember that we kind of debunked it, kind of, because it had only to do with America.
no, it wasn't necessarily only about America. It was a religious thing. It was a religious sort of aspect to reality. I think it was called the Fourth Coming, I believe, or something of that. Yeah, baby. Hey, you only get one out of me.
You only get one out of me. I mean, I go for the fourth, and then I'm like, oh, nope, just dust. Like, it's just like 2 and 3 are still there, but fourth, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I've only got so much plasma in my body. I've only got so much glucose. I need to eat. And you know what? I bet you if
I tried to go in one episode without your balls being mentioned.
I never even
byproduct of
did
your
I
balls.
say did I say balls?
No, if it's the byproduct.
You know what? And the thing is, you're gonna have to deal with me in 2 weeks.
Visit me here real soon. I'm excited.
Bring in all the dogs.
Come visit the NWA.
The NWA. I was about to say what I know it stands for, but I don't think it's what you were meaning.
No.
Exploited, deleted, with attitude.
The N word with attitude is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Exploitive, deleted.
No, it stands for North. It's North.
North with attitude?
So it's like, so there's a sign as you drive up the highway. It'll say, "Welcome to NWA, Northwest Arkansas."
Let's talk about directional of acronyms here. Wow. No, it's not that cool. I'm gonna make sure that I write out. I'll go to that sign and I'll get spray paint and some stencils and write out what the acronym really means.
Sure, somebody has done that many times.
I'm sure they have. So it'll be like a normal thing. It'll just be like another Tuesday for them, and I won't get in trouble. It'd be cool. I have a lot of
just in another white guy writes the bad word.
No, by the way, I'm super progressive. I made a black friend the other day, so anyone's got a problem, take it up with my black friend. He gave me permission, and he speaks for all black people.
Have you ever seen that video of that girl who's like in Wendy's or McDonald's uniform, and she's like, "Look, this is my work friend, and they think I'm racist," and it's just this poor young black woman who's like, "Whatever, please leave me alone, please leave me alone."
Oh, never.
Have you seen that video?
Mm-mm. I don't think so. You send me a link, I'll watch it. Or you put it up and I'll put it up. Oh, there won't be any audio. I mean, there should be audio if you share your screen. I
can't find it on first search. I can't find it. Anyway, I'm over it, buddy. Is this long enough?
Yeah, it's long enough, bro. That's what she said. And that's what he said. That's what he said. Cool. Like,
hey, brother. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I guess that pretty much covers everything with Basiago and his claims of time traveling. So, yeah, we'll see what happens in the future and stuff. He's got
kill this fucking fly that's bothering me.
I thought you were about to say you're gonna go kill something else, bro.
Never attempt to do that.
I was
thank you.
I was implying in a sexual way.
You already know that.
Hell yeah, brother! You know you're doing it.
The right hand.
Oh, that's so sad. Sometimes you just gotta go in there and you gotta be like, woman, come here, stand and deliver. Like, I'm just kidding. It was a joke. To all the listeners, it was a fucking joke.
Uneducated. I'm Evan.
I'm Ben.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you guys later.